Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good mornings. So today I will present about the topic for the overview of the Uniform Building Bylaw 1984 and the Amendment 2007. Uh, for this our lecture, we can relate with the CCC issues. What the CCC issues is a certificate of the completion and compliance was just enforced, but there was still much discussion and its implementation. So they have four issues for the CCC can be related with the first laws and the professionalism in the properties development. Second, the local government. Third is the UBBLs 1984, and lastly the application of the UBBL and related acts. So we go through for the first issues related with the CCC is the law and the professionalism in the properties development. It's about more for the competent person and their legislation and regulation that relate with the competent person. For example, the developer uh, and the legislation and regulation that the developer must be followed is national land codes, land acquisition act, housing development control and licensing and strata title. What is developer? Developer, in order to start the property development on the piece of the land, a developer and his consultant, especially the surveyor and the town planner, and to the lesser extent the architecture and engineer. Based from this description about the developer, okay, when we want to develop one of the areas, we must study. As a developer, we must study first about the uh, housing and development at that area, and then we must follow the national land code. If the land's title is pertanian, we must to convert first for the perumahan or industrial areas. Lepas tu, and Land Acquisition Act and Strata Title. Strata Title is for the high-rise building, more for 6 highest building, and they can then the building that you want to build must follow the Strata Title. Alright, so first is developer. Second, we go to the town planner. What is a town planner? Is a simultaneously a town planner will start work of the master plan of the proposed development, and for the town planner, they must to identify or must follow the regulation or legislation for the National Land Code and Land Acquisition, Local Government Act, Town and Country Planning, and Environmental Quality Act. Okay, so for the town planner, the scope of work is to create the master plan. Okay, and then for the Environmental Quality Act is the town planner or surveyor must follow any, if the contoh Environment Quality Act ni, if the tanah tu reserve hutan simpan, kita tak boleh lah buat any development in the hutan simpan, because that area is already gazetted for the hutan simpan. If the developer want to develop at the areas, they must to get the permit or any acceptance from the local authorities. Alright, so that is the scope of work for the town planner. Architecture is a designer for the building And this architecture must also be a concern with the requirement of the relevant building by law, with respect requirements such as access, lighting, health, safety, ventilation, and fire protection. So the legislation regulation that architect must be follow, must be understand, must set in their mind, must be follow, is the follow the UBBL section 123, and then Malaysian Standard, National Land Court, Land Acquisition, Local Government Act, Town and Country Planning, Environment Quality, House and Development, and Strata Title. So that is the scope of the architecture. And the other is the environmental engineer. What is the environmental engineer? The engineer will play an important role in the protection of the environment. So normally the environmental engineer will be required to prepare the EIA report, Environmental Impact Assessment report for the development tract of the land over 50 hectare. And nonetheless, only with input of the professional architecture, civil engineer and planner who are guided by the various acts related to their profession, that the environmental engineer would be able to produce the EIA report. Alright, so apa yang diguna pakai for the environmental engineer is here, they must be follow the Environmental Quality Acts. So apa-apa yang berkait dengan environmental, kita kena hire the environmental engineer because dia orang yang competent terhadap EIA report. Alright. And then civil and structure engineer, yang mana kita tahu civil ni is to design the infrastructure and services for the development. A civil engineer will need to know the regulation governing their design for the earthwork, road, rain, water supply and sewerage and the like. So another is a geotechnical engineer and then structural engineer. So kalau geotechnical ni more for the underground punya structure engineer dia more kepada structure of the building. So what berapa dia punya for the beam berapa RC yang perlu dipakai, and then link dia berapa kena pakai, size berapa, itu. So the civil and structure engineer, they must follow the drainage work, irrigation areas, Environmental Quality Act, Sewerage Services, Water Act, Street Drainage Building Act, UBBL, Malaysian Standard, Housing Development and Strata Title. Okay, another is a mechanical and electrical engineering. As we know, mechanical for the mechanical engineer is more for the building services such as like fire protection system, lighting, mechanical ventilation, mechanical transportation and services, equipment such as like a gondola and so on. And the scope of work varies greatly between small building and tall and the large building. Any building that have the mechanical and electrical punya equipment, siapa yang design itu adalah engineer yang berkait rapat dengan mechanical and electrical. So the legislation and regulation that mechanical and electrical engineer must be follow, must be study is the UBBL, Factory and Machinery Act, Fire Services, Electrical Supply, Sewerage Services, Communication and Multimedia Act, Water Act, Housing Development and Strata Title. Okay. And then is a builder and contractor. Ini adalah contractor yang apa yang selepas drawing settle, contractor ni yang on the site yang akan build your building. The builder and contractor are also bound by the same regulation governing the consultant. For specialist contractors, especially M&E, apa yang akan perlu foto, maksudnya Factory and Machinery Act, Electrical Supply, Sewerage Services and Communication and Multimedia and Water Act. Alright. Tetapi for the builders yang tadi yang bawah ni dia mau kepada M&E punya contractor. Kalau for the civil punya contractor, dia punya follow this area. Okay, UBBL, Street Drainage, Occupational Safety and Health Act, and OSHA, Construction Industry Development and Standard of the Malaysia. OSHA ni dia mohon kepada cara penggunaan jentera ataupun kaedah kerja yang selamat semasa pembinaan. OSHA. And then construction development ni CIDB punya. Maksudnya cara penggunaan alat yang betul, and then apa lagi, penggunaan alat, keadaan kawasan yang betul-betul selamat, dan lain-lain. Alright. And then we go to for the competent person lah. Apa yang dikatakan competent person ni, saya cakap tadi sebelum ni, daripada developer, arkitek, structure engineer, contractor, mechanical, electrical engineer, itu adalah dikatakan competent person yang terdapat di dalam UBBL, mengatakan competent person. In summary, none of the player in the industry, be their property developer, building contractor and construction partners, architect, engineer, surveyor and town planner, can work without their being the governed, at least taking consider of the making reference to the act and regulation of the land. Maksudnya orang-orang competent person ni adalah orang-orang yang mengguna pakai everything legislation and regulation yang berkait rapat for the development yang hendak dibuat. Kalau dia nak buat rumah, apa kepakaran dia, apa yang perlu dia tahu. Dia tahu dah everything about act yang relate terhadap rumah tersebut yang perlu dimasukkan untuk memudahkan cara for the building approval, building plan approval, and then construction kamu smooth, tiada cacat celah ataupun tiada gangguan sekiranya tengah buat separuh jalan. Rupanya CIDB check, datang inspection for your site, rupanya tak follow regulation, jadi bangunan kamu itu dikategorikan terbengkalai. Sometimes itulah dia take time. Alright, so setiap competent person mesti tahu dia punya scope of work, and then dia punya what is the legislation and regulator yang perlu dipatuhi untuk bidang masing-masing. Alright, dan jangan kacau bidang orang lain. Okay, so another number 2 CC issue is the local government. Before going further into the discourse of the it is the best to look into how the many law governing building and construction came into the existence. It was widely believed, sebab kita tahu local government ni adalah dicipta untuk menggantikan law-law yang dah terdahulu, atau zaman-zaman government atau zaman-zaman kolonial dulu, sebelum dijajah, semasa dijajah. So the local government ni dicipta untuk menggantikan law-law yang terdahulu. It was widely believed that 1974 the second Prime Minister Tun Abdul Razak had a vision to make the local government undertake more than their traditional role of the maintaining public sanitation and general welfare of their resident. He had vision to turn the local government into agent of the catalyst for the industrial, commercial and residential development. The local government will also turn into the effective organisation to bring about development activity within their localities. So kat sini dia ingin kuasakan sebagai every local authority tu ada kuasa untuk daerah masing-masing yang dijajah. Okay, so Act 171 Local Government Act said the agreement vision that the draft into Act 171. Effectively, Act 172 has replacement and consolidate of many separate law governing local authority which were inherit from the colonial era. So contohnya sebelum Merdeka, Town Board, they have many. Salah satunya Town Board Enactment of Federation Malay State, Municipal Ordinance of Strait Settlement, Johor Town Board Enactment, Municipal Enactment of Kelantan, Town Board Enactment of the Terengganu and Local Council Ordinance. Maksudnya kat sini, bila terlalu banyak ordinance yang diguna pakai, setiap negeri berbeza-beza, jadi ada berlaku banyak percanggahan, and then dia nak standardiskan, jadi dia buatkan 171 Act 171 Local Government, yang mana setiap kerajaan tempatan perlu mematuhi guideline yang sama, tetapi dalam masa sama diberikan kuasa kepada local authorities tersebut dalam mentadbir urus yang baik dan mempunyai kuasa dalam mengutip cukai di kawasannya bagi menampung, orang kata, menampung income kepada local government tersebut. Okey. Selepas independent kat ni selepas independence pula apa yang ada? Local government temporary yang diguna pakai. Under local government with the Ministry of Housing and Ethical Commission may set up the local authority, make known a status of municipal district, declare its area and define the boundaries. Okay, so kat sini setiap local authority atau district council dia identify dia punya sempadan area, sempadan dan dia punya jajahan takluknya melalui boundaries yang ditetapkan. Alright, so currently there are 1 for 5 local government and authorities. We included with Putrajaya in the country with 98 are Peninsular, 22 are in Sabah and 25 are in Sarawak. Of these, 9 are City Council Hall and Dewan Rakyat, 37 are Municipal Council Majlis Pembenaran and 98 are District Council. Mungkin ini telah bertambah maksudnya dia punya local government So kamu boleh study lah berapa sekarang. Bukan 145, mungkin dah naik sampai 150, 158, tidak tahu. Kamu boleh tengok yang paling latest. Okay, so the local authorities, contoh seperti apa? Dekat Perak pun ada sekarang dah ada satu lagi daerah baru antara Tapah dengan Slim River tu. Apa? Dekat baru ni pilihan raya dekat Sabah pun sama, ada satu kawasan daerah baru yang dibuat. Alright. And then banyak lagi. Okay, so the local authorities are versed by the Local Government Act to control development of the land within their respective area. Saya cakap tadi lah. The Act also into involve the social, economic and infrastructure development, and the Act catalyse industrial, commercial, housing and their basic function oversee amenities with their boundaries. Maksudnya apa-apa pembangunan yang mesti melibatkan social, economic, infrastructure di dalam kawasan masing-masing. And the Act 172, the term of country planning was proposed to concur with the Act 171, the local government. The former adopt the British system of town planning, the development plan system and replacement of the older master plan system, which has found the inflexible to rapid development in urban area. The town and country planning 1970 fundamentally institute a uniform planning legislation which cover all the state. Okay, maksudnya kat sini Act 172 ni dia cover untuk semua state untuk apa-apa pembangunan melibatkan town and planning planning act lah. The Town and Country Planning Act set of framework for the local authorities to formulate the structure plan, policies and social, economic and physical character within their boundaries. Use the same guideline for the provision of local plan with the control the use of the land and building and properties. Maksudnya kat situ dia diguna pakai untuk merancang sesuatu daerah, maksudnya merancang tempat yang untuk development. Mungkin di contoh for the Perak sajalah, Seri Iskandar ni dia fokus on perumahan dan industrial and education. Lepas tu dekat area Batu Gajah dia fokus on industrial. Jadi hasillah kawasan macam kawasan Bemban. That is a kawasan industrial. And then apa lagi? Kawasan hospital. Kawasan yang kawasan hospital tu selalunya akan dibuat berkaitan dengan kawasan yang banyak penduduk. Alright, so itu semua peletakan apa-apa tu semua bergantung kepada town and country planning. Alright. And then apa lagi yang terlibat dengan local government is Act 133 yang mana to consolidate the different many section of this pre-independent enactment and within Ordinance of the local government which were related to the street drainage and building were repealed and absorbed into Act 133 street drainage and building. Maksudnya enactment ordinance sebelum Local Government Act dicipta, selepas diciptanya local government, segala enactment yang berkaitan dengan jalan, bangunan dan peparitan diguna pakai sepenuhnya menggunakan Akta 133. This act, however, is only applicable in Peninsular Malaysia. Diguna pakai di Malaysia saja. Peninsula, Semenanjung Malaysia, to amend consolidate the law relating to the street drainage and building LA areas, to introduce uniform system pertaining to the street drainage, building and local authority area, define qualified person, section 70, notice of the new building, section 133, power to make by law for the state authorities. And then apa yang berkaitan dengan CCC, Certificate of Competence and Compliance ni, in 2007 the Parliament amend order of the UBBL and the Street Drainage Act to effect the issuance of the CC by the personal architect or the personal engineer or registered building draftsman letter in limited building not exceeding 2 story and area less than this individual who were previously known as the qualified person are now known as a principal submission person under the amendment. Maksudnya kat sini arkitek, personal engineer dan registered building draftsman sahaja yang boleh membuat submission person, orang yang kata yang bertanggungjawab untuk submit dia punya plan kepada local authority, surveyor ke apa ke, engineer lain ke, bukan engineer biasa, bukan yang profesional, tidak boleh submit ataupun wakilkan ke, tidak boleh submit dia punya plan terhadap local authority. So control of the CCC, the government sees it fit for professional to understand the CCC system because there is the check and balance being the introduced system in the form metric responsibility. Total 21 certificate form will be endorsed along entire construction process. Maksudnya kat sini ada 21 certificate form yang perlu lulus baru kamu boleh dapat CCC. Dan 21 itu certificate form itu adalah terdiri pada form G1 until G21 under the revised UBBL. Masuk kat situ. Jadi kamu boleh refer dekat UBBL form itu, G1 untuk apa, G2 untuk apa, G3, semua ada scope dia punya, scope kerja masing-masing. Setiap kerja-kerja tu kena di endorse dan diluluskan oleh PBT daripada G1 sampailah 21. Sekiranya semua telah lulus dan orang kata diluluskan oleh PBT ataupun local authorities, barulah bangunan kamu tu boleh mendapat CCC ataupun Certificate of Compliance. Apa yang dikatakan CCC tu, sekiranya bangunan kamu dapat CCC, kamu baru boleh duduk rumah itu. Kalau tak dapat CCC, kamu tak boleh duduk rumah itu, dan dikategorikan sebagai rumah yang tidak siap dan tidak mengikut requirement by local authorities. The relevant subcontractor and licensed trade contractor and the PSP of the 2021 Form G that each stage of the work has been complete in accordance approved building plan, thus the metric responsibility with the implementation Form G will make everyone accountable for their respective scope of work. Okay. For the implement CCC, 6 Act were amendment untuk implement CCC ni. First Act 117 Architect Act, Act 118 Housing Development, Act 133 Street and Drainage Building, Act 133 Section 133 UBBL, Act 138 Registered Engineer Act, and then 1318 Strata Title sekiranya bangunan kamu tu 6 tingkat ke atas. Okay, Principal Submission Person, PSP tadi responsible under CC are as follow. First, orang yang principal PSP person must submit planning and building plan to PBT for approval. Inform the PBT for the commencement and construction work on the site. Every progress on the site must be informed to PBT, supervise inspection construction work on the site, ensure that the law and the technical condition of the PBT are follow. Maksudnya dia juga orang yang supervise, memastikan pembinaan tu dilakukan mengikut requirement specification yang ditentukan di dalam plan, mengikut follow the requirement. Report the breach of the construction again approval, explain reason of the breach and perform recovery action in event breach during the construction. Number 5, present the work resumption notice to PBT, ensure the form D1 to G21 are complete. Upon satisfactory complete of the work and obtain clearance from the 6 essential service department, issue the CC to the owner, developer, present the copy to the PBT and professional boards of the body. Okay, professional architecture, professional engineer and PSP lah. Dia mesti berdaftar under CIDB contractor. All the certificate from D1 to J are duly filled with certificate from compliant as a. Okay, apa yang kamu boleh baca. Okay, dah habis nombor 3 pula. So another issue CCC is the UBBL. Objective is the objective behind the formula of UBBL. Among other ways, set the standardized building regulation, classify line of the legal responsibilities for the building with a clear definition of the principal submission person (PSP), regulate architecture, structure, health and safety, fire protection capabilities, and constructional requirement of the building with the clear reference to the approved standard, expedites the processing and building approval and occupancy of the building. Okay, short form of the UBBL, need for a standardized set of the building regulation for the country. The enforcement of the UBBL is governed by the state and hence gazettes separately with the slightly different version for the each of the state. Maksudnya dekat setiap negeri berbeza-beza dia punya UBBL nya, mengikut kesesuaian. Sekiranya perlu ditambah, sekiranya tidak diperlukan, perlu dibuang. Supaya jangan berlakunya pertinihan ataupun confuse orang yang PSP. And then the difference in the translation between the English and Bahasa version also add to the confusion. Okay, so contohnya ayat-ayat yang English sometimes dia terlalu technical terms, dia mengconfusekan lah. Jadi kita perlu simplekan words-words yang ada supaya kita mudah memahami apa kehendak bylaw tersebut. And then advance in the constructional technologies and science have made the sort of bylaw out of date. Maksudnya sekiranya kita tengok dah terlalu banyak teknologi yang baru dan kita tengok UBBL kita tiada benda-benda teknologi yang baru, kita perlu update di dalam UBBL tersebut supaya dia seiring dengan peredaran zaman. Large scale structure like a new airport, shopping centre, mixed development have been built in the new concept and design approaches. Kat sini sekiranya kita tahu kita ada majlis daerah, kita ada majlis pemandaran, kita ada bandaraya, setiap local authorities, setiap distrik local authority tersebut dia berbeza-beza dia punya building. Untuk level untuk bandaraya at least mesti dah ada stadium, mesti dah ada orang kata large scale structure, stadium, large scale structure, hospital, and then apa lagi, Colosseum, and then apa-apa yang big scale lah. Dan dia perlu dimasukkan di dalam UBBL tersebut. There are bylaw within the UBBL which has not been referred by professional and found to be irrelevant. As example, the good number of the structure requirement have been ignored and not referred to the. Apa yang boleh baca? Saya tak nampak. Okay. And then the last is application of the UBBL relate to the CCC issue. Kita dapat tahu kita punya they have apa-apa stage kat sini. Ada design stage, submission stage, documentation stage, construction stage. Ada 4. Dan kita kena tahu setiap stage tersebut apa yang perlu dibuat dalam design stage tadi. Apa as a PSP, apa requirement yang perlu dibuat. Kalau drawing tu at least mesti complete set, jangan ada section tak cukup, tak ada section, tak ada detail, tak ada specification. Jadi perlu ada untuk dalam design stage sendiri, dan salah satu dia memenuhi kehendak klien, dan dia mesti mematuhi segala regulation act yang perlu diguna pakai oleh bangunan tersebut yang dibuat oleh PSP. Okay, for the submission stage pula, siapa tadi saya cakap tadi, person siapa yang perlu nak buat submit, kepada siapa yang perlu disubmit. Mesti ada local authority. Di dalam local authority pula, they have many department yang department yang mengurus dia punya bidang masing-masing. Contoh, dia have the kawalan bangunan, dia have jabatan electrical, mechanical. Jadi dia akan passing di dalam local authorities tersebut. And then construction, and then apa lagi tadi, saya dah lupa. Okay, so kita kena identify dia punya scope kerja, lepas tu dia punya di dalam stage tersebut punya activities perlu kita tahu. Sekurang-kurangnya sekiranya kamu tahu apa, cakap design stage pun dah tahu dah. Itu apa scope of work di dalam design stage, for submission apa stage yang tersebut, construction stage macam mana, and then lain. Alright, itu saja for today. For your info, your task, bukan task lah, task yang saya minta pada kamu adalah saya nak setiap pelajar perlu mendapatkan soft copy, download lah, untuk UBBL. Terpulang UBBL kamu dapat, kalau dapat setiap UBBL setiap negeri lagi bagus. Maksudnya kamu bagi kepada kawan-kawan kamu, cuba try dapatkan setiap negeri punya UBBL, and then dapatkan juga Local Government Acts 174, dapatkan lagi 133, Akta Perparitan Jalan dan Bangunan. Dapatkan lagi nombor 4. Nombor 1 tadi apa tadi? UBBL. Nombor 2 174. Nombor 3 133 Act. Nombor 4 saya nak kamu dapatkan fire department punya Act, bomba punya lah, bomba Act. Cuba try dapatkan. Itu saja, ada 4 tu. Kalau boleh saya nak kamu dapatkan lah. Alright, itu saja for today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.